All right, in this screencast, we're going to look at the actual process of taking a note and some of the options that you have there. I want to start off on this one with the gear again in the bottom left-hand corner. And these are things that you're not going to have to do every time, but you'll notice you've already dealt with the auto backup. You've got some themes that you can, a couple of free themes. You have the document, which most people don't change this, but if you want to default paper, rather than just the blank white paper, you can do that. In terms of you can type and handwrite using Notability, and so you notice you've got some ability here of changing what the defaults are. The handwriting, this is where I think it's really important. I usually say that you want to default to having straight lines on, and that what that allows you to do is to hard press and pull over, and the line will be straight rather than kind of a jagged hand-drawn line. You can tap and hold to zoom. That's one of those things that you'll just kind of mess around with it to see whether you want that on or off. This left-handed mode is really important. If you are left-handed, you're going to want to make sure that you come in and you toggle that on. And then this one is important also, particularly if you are going to handwrite, and that is palm detection. It allows you to keep your palm on the device without having to lift it up, and it kind of tires your wrist if you do that. So you might want to mess around with those settings a little bit. But essentially what you're going to do is in the top right corner, as I mentioned earlier, you're going to want to go to this icon with the pen or pencil and the piece of paper, and now you have this note started. And you've got some options here. You can tap within where it says Note November 2nd. You can tap within there. You can say, I want this to be, called test. And now you can, the T is typing, and so when you press the T, now you are able to type in a note. You can use the pencil, and if you hard press on the pencil, kind of hold it down, you've got some options in terms of how thin, how narrow the line will be. You, of course, have colors. And so if you do that now, you have, you can handwrite. You also have the ability next of highlighting. Same idea there. If you kind of hard press down, you can change the highlighting color, and now that becomes a highlighter. You have an eraser. You can erase items. Pretty straightforward. I'm going to you can cut something, and I'll show you here. Let's draw this. And now if I go to cut this, it tells me to, it shows me this is the area, and then I just select, I press on it, and I can copy this, go over and press again and paste it. Or I can actually press on it again, and I can delete that. I can press on this again if I cut this, and then I can delete that as well. The finger pointing is where some people use this differently than others. The finger pointing allows you to move up and down the page without making a mark. So if you have the pencil, and so you're writing, test is tomorrow, and you want to go down to the next page, or you want to scroll down a little bit, what you can do is go up here, select the pointed finger, move up, go back to the pencil, and continue writing. What you can also do, and you're not going to be able to see me do this, you can have 2 points of contact on the screen. So you are writing with one finger. When you press 2 fingers down, you'll notice the pencil is still selected, but I have 2 points of contact, and I'm able to actually scroll on the screen. Again, a very useful thing. You will see people get very, very good at being able to do that. Most do not go up here and actually do the finger pointer. You do have the ability of recording. It will ask you for your permission to access the microphone. You would say OK, and now it's recording the audio. I want to stress, this should not be done without a teacher's permission. You are not supposed to legally record anybody without them knowing. So you'll want to be, just be aware of that. You don't want to do something that the teacher doesn't want you to do. And so I'm going to stop. I've stopped that. You have the plus sign where it allows you to put in photos. So you can take a photo. It's going to ask you to access the camera. And so you can go here, take a photograph, and then use the photo. And now it allows you to put that photo, and you'll notice what I just did there, accidentally drew on it. I can go back and do the undo button. If I do, so you have that picture there. You can select a photo, add it into your note. You can do a figure, and here's where you'll notice if you go to draw a square, sometimes it will, if you get it just right, it will actually make it a more perfect one, and you can say done, and now that brings that in as shapes. You can do web clips, you can do stickies, which you can have a sticky note like this that then you can move around. You can resize it. You can do different kinds of paper. So there's graph paper that you can use. You have the wrench where you can say, I want, this color paper on the background. So really, in terms of doing notes, it's a fairly straightforward process. Obviously, your teacher will let you know the process that they want you to use in order to take those notes.